Always waiting for Facebook. Here we go. And we're live! Hey Hacksters, welcome. I am here holed up in a hotel room, preparing for the start of New York Maker Faire, which launches tomorrow. But tonight there's a Bring a Hack dinner, and I'm really excited to head out for that in a few minutes. However, right now we're going to do Fundum Friday, which is our weekly overview of some cool crowdfunding projects, so let's dive in. So first up, on my way here, I was sort of like questioning, like, what good does it do to make things? And so I had that kind of in mind as I was sifting through some of the new things that are up for crowdfunding. And so the first two are a couple of like really sort of frivolous things. And then afterwards, we're going to talk about some things that are maybe more world-changing or whatever, some really interesting ideas. First up, crowdfunding platforms are always full of new e-bikes and new electric skateboards and smart bags and like all these other things. But this is the first time that I've seen electric roller skates. E-skates? E-skates. Yeah, so these seem really terrifying to me, like honestly. But then I realized that the thing that terrifies me about rollerblades is that you can't jump off. And these are supremely jump-offable. They have no straps on them. You just stand on them, which does seem like a bit unstable to me. In fact, even in their super like glamorous video, you can kind of see the models like tripping up a little bit sometimes. Like they kind of like run into this railing in the way that I always do when I'm on like rollerblades and I can't stop. But, you know, they don't seem too panicked. And yeah, it's like they put this whole sort of dreamy LA spin on these little sort of mini segways for your feet. It's like a hoverboard, but in two pieces, or like a hoverboard, or a segway but stuck to your feet, or like, I don't know, any other number of weird parallels you could draw. The thing is, I think they've tried too hard to like appeal to the millennial demographic because they show this guy like rolling around and scrolling through his phone and stuff, and that to me seems like a really terrible idea. Like, even if you have precision steering, don't do this. It makes you a jerk face. It's kind of incredible though that you can actually like push a car with this. Like, how much of that is due to the initial momentum with which they're slapping it? I mean, kind of look at that. Like, they kind of hit it really fast, right? And how much is actually due to the torque that the motors can do, I don't know. I wouldn't like go grocery shopping with these things, but they're kind of cool. And you can just step off and like they show you, you know, dropping him on the beach as you go to run in the sand and whatever. They don't show you like frantically blowing and brushing the sand out of the wheels later on, but maybe it actually just is that good. They've got them some like safety features and lighting and stuff. Anyway, these things are incredibly overfunded, so you can probably actually get them in October if you order them now. And they run you about like $700 to $800, which is whoa. But you know, if you really want electronic feet, there you go. Now the next one actually reminds me. Let's just look at the thing first. It's a drone that can fly in the air or swim underwater, and this reminds me of a clip from Blue Planet that always stuck with me really fiercely, which is this thing where you've got like a bait ball of fish, like prey, sort of huddling for safety, and then there's these like giant tuna fish, and like they're sort of harassing the ball of fish, and then these birds just come up out of the sky, or come down out of the sky, and like dive into the water and like get them from the top too, and it's just like this incredibly climactic moment where you're just like, oh man, they can't catch a break, those poor fish. And also like, what? Birds can fly underwater? Like, what? That's how I felt when I saw this drone. Like, what? You can just do that? Look at it. Whoa. It appears to have a camera on the front, but I could be mistaken. But yeah, if you ever wanted an open ROV, yeah, here we go. 4K video, 30 frames per second. Not bad for like what it is. 64 gigs of memory and Wi-Fi connectivity. This is so weird. Especially like I'm wondering how good the connectivity really is, because Wi-Fi can be disrupted by like having too many people in a place. Not too much, but like if you literally submerge it in water, like that can't be that good for it. But anyway, yeah, if you ever wanted, you couldn't choose between like an open ROV and a Digi drone or whatever. Here's the answer to your problems. You're welcome. So this thing will be shipping in December, and they're also hella overfunded, so you'll definitely, apparently it sold out in 45 minutes, so there you go. So these are sort of toys, right? They're cool, but they are toys. I mean, you could use them for science, I don't know, people are creative. But here are a couple things that sort of do more beyond being sort of awesome. This one starts out by being marketed as kind of a tool for people going camping. It is a cooler that doesn't require electricity or ice, and it's not just inert like a styrofoam cooler. It actually has this evaporative cooling method that they talk about. You fill it with water, and then you support it on these fiberglass rods, and it's got this fabric that it's made of called phase tech that allows water vapor to penetrate the walls but holds in the liquid water. And so it draws out the heat. And they've got this cool little chart here that talks about, oh, where is it? Oh yeah, here we go. How you can get 20 degrees of cooling in 75-degree weather, or 40 degrees of cooling in 120-degree weather. I'm assuming this is Fahrenheit because otherwise that's terrifying. Yeah, not for meat, but yeah, fruits, veggies, whatever. So they mentioned that this is not just for glamping. It is currently in use in Morocco and has been for 3 years. And they're collaborating with USAID to conduct a large-scale development project next summer. So in the meantime, they are just crowdfunding it, presumably to help it take off, which is really cool. When the apocalypse hits, you'll have your fresh veggies and such, and your cheese won't be all melty, and everyone will be like, oh, give me some cheese, and you'll be able to, decide their fate. Sorry. It's Friday night. Hello. You can get one of these for $120, but although most of these are shipping in March 2019, they have 50 ready to ship that are available for early delivery in December. So you also get an easy carrying strap, which I assume is for when it's folded up, and not when it's in its expanded function. I can't imagine carrying that around. But yeah, people tuck it in the back of their houses, and it apparently really helps. So that's super cool. I should stop randomly scrolling around and let you actually look at some of this. So then I was looking around and found this Because Learning technology kit. And this is not your typical crowdfunded project. You don't just, pledge a certain amount and then choose your reward. Instead, you invest. It's called microventures, and it's on the Indiegogo site. So if you go to the drift thingy and then scroll down to the bottom, yikes, here we go. In this whole list of stuff, you'll sometimes see ones that are for marketplace, which is you just buy it, and some for investing and stuff. This is really interesting. I've never noticed this before, but I'm guessing it's been around for a little while. But yeah, pardon me. Your minimum investment here is $100, and you can, offer, they offer different types of securities, and it's more of sort of a distributed VC system, which I think is really cool. So I found this one when I was looking at this other one that is called, where are you? Let me see if I just scroll down, if I can find it. There was a cool wind power one. Anyway, so here we go. Primo Wind. The unfortunate thing is that you can't actually click on any of these previous raises, which is kind of frustrating because I want to learn about these. But it seems like this is a good place to find a high concentration of actually sort of world helpful devices, as well as a lot of booze. Apparently a lot of booze companies are going the investment route through this. You got craft beer here, you've got boutique spirits and private label brand management, you've got H. Shires Distillery, but you also have Primo Wind, residential and commercial microgrid solar and wind systems. Pretty cool. You've got Apex Farms doing vertical hydroponic and aquaponic farming systems. Also pretty cool. You've got Unlimited Tomorrow doing next generation 3D printed artificial limbs. So this seems like it's beyond your typical sort of not that many people are going to crowdfund an artificial limb, but you might invest basically sort of like an evolution of microloans in, in a company that's producing these. So I think this is a super cool use of the crowdfunding model that I have not seen before now. I could just be out of the loop, but I check these sites out on a fairly regular basis. All right, so that's what I've got for you today. If you want to stay in the loop, check out blog.hackster.io and scroll right down to now funding. For the first time in a while, I didn't just like rip off a few of these and help pad my broadcast. No, I don't really do that. But you will find a lot of the coolest crowdfunding projects on here in the now funding section. You just scroll down, including the Sensi thing, which I think looks pretty cool. So follow the blog. You can follow us on Medium. Super easy. Go check out the Drift e-skates. Terrifying, possibly fun. The sort of bird and tuna OpenROV/Digidrone mashup here that does 4K video. The Fennec Yuma 60-liter cooler that uses evaporative cooling technology. And if you're curious, go invest in, what is this called? Because Learning, the technology kit. I didn't say a lot about it, but you can go find out more and check out the investment model. I think it looks really interesting. And you can support all kinds of cool stuff in the microventures.com crowdfunding section. Thanks a lot. I hope you get something out of this. I think that it's really encouraging to see a platform that encourages more sort of long view crowdfunding projects more than these sort of short-sighted or sort of more vanity products, which are awesome, I love a good camera drone. I love weird e-skates and stuff, but I think it's really encouraging to see stuff like this happening now. Have an awesome rest of your Friday, a great weekend, and I'll hope to see you at New York Maker Faire, if not before.